I'm sorry. You plan to do what to me?
Make you a good father.
I am the king of the demon realm. How dare you!
You suck as a dad. We're fixing that.
Thank you to our final patrons, Strawbones, Red4765, and a Midnight Gemlord. Now, we're having this breakdown / discussion on what if the Demon King of all characters was a good father. Please leave your own thoughts on what this change would result in on a massive narrative scale in the comment section down below. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell to miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do a Patreon down below and support for as low as $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. Now, you can also become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, let's hop into this what if. What's up, guys? Uncle the Pencil here, and admittedly, usually I wouldn't do what ifs like this, mainly because I like to script them out, make them extra long and complicated, and all that good stuff. Like I have a 8-parter cooking right now. Well, no, it's actually 10 parts, but I just need to write the last 10 parts, not last 10 parts, the last 2 parts. But regardless of that, that'll be coming out in a little bit. This what if I sat down, I opened the Google Doc and started to type, and then I realized, if this happens, the story can't happen. like this is such a archetypal, fundamental change, despite how really simple and almost dumb it sounds. Yeah, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if the Demon King was a good dad, the story just doesn't happen in any manner, shape, or form. Because maybe one aspect of the story could happen. We could still hypothetically get a sequel series, but let me talk about why. So the thing is, one of the main reasons the entire plot happens is because the Demon King's just a meanie stupid head. Legitimately, not just as a father, but as an individual, the Demon King is not the best of people. Don't worry, the Supreme Deity isn't either, and we may make a video talking about if she was a good mother, though I do think that has less ramifications, ironically enough. But the thing with the Demon King is, right, he's the father to our main character. And you know what our main character's motivation is for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, realistically not even 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, nor 10, considering, as was pointed out to me, the 6-month time skip is a whole bunch of time that Mel spends in purgatory. So that is thousands upon thousands of years then. I believe they calculated 47,000 years. So all that time, Meliodas was doing all that, and hypothetically more. We still don't know how much time he really spent when he, perished the first time. But regardless, all that time happened because the Demon King was a bad dad. He just legitimately did not support his son in any of his endeavors and literally helped his top op slaughter his son, which was now his new top op, and then curse him for 3,000 years. Legitimately not the best of dad moves. At least if you ask me, I don't think it's the best of dad moves. So, if we go back to the point where, let's say, this change in character occurs after the original demon incident, right? Because we still need the 10 commandments and stuff like that. So post-original demon incident, the Demon King realizes, darn, if I create things like this and I let them get out of my control in one way or another, I could have to end up fighting them. This could be extremely and unorthodoxly dangerous. If this thing I created that isn't even my own flesh and blood, with half my power, got powerful enough to rebel against me, and I had to beat it down and split it into 2 separate people, I can't imagine what my own kids are going to be like. You know what? I don't want to, but let's treat them nice. So admittedly, this is the case where only the kids are going to be treated nice. Every other demon still got to get the exact same treatment as they would by the Demon King. So the Supreme Deity, so would everything else. This isn't if the Demon King suddenly became a good person. He just, out of his own self-interest, decided that instead of being a tyrannical ruler and monster and beast and demon, ironically enough, to his own children, now he's decided to properly be a dad. And thusly, when Meliodas is born, sure, he still trains him, sure, he still puts him directly under Chandler's care, but now he's actually supportive of Meliodas. When he sees Meliodas getting strong, he's like, good job, son, keep doing that, keep getting your gains up. He starts praising him, he starts lavishing him. Meliodas gets to do essentially whatever he wants, and this essentially kind of makes me believe the Demon King was already like this to a certain degree, only because of how we see Meliodas acting in the Escanor fight. Specifically, when we get the Escanor v Meliodas fight, Meliodas is like wild, crazy, playful, arrogant, like all that. I feel like we kind of get that, but we never get to switch to the more serious and tired Meliodas that we see. And thusly, when Zeldris is born, however many years after Meliodas, he gets the same treatment too. He's not bullied, he's not beaten down, he's not regarded as a lesser son or anything like that. They're just both raised. They're both raised and praised as princes of the demon realm. And due to this, they grow to love their dad. They're like, my dad's the coolest, dog. And sure, they'll go around and realize that the Demon King is still a terrible person, but like, I don't know. He makes them dinner. He gives them a place to stay. He lets them do whatever they want, really. Good things happen for them, so they are gonna grow up a bit less morally against their father and much more for him, because the Demon King is doing what they like and what they want. I think this would be cool, where we get a scenario where Mel and Zell are happy to do what the Demon King asks of them, because it's like, well, yeah, sure, I appreciate this, Dad. I'll do it. Why not? And they end up becoming the same monsters that they were before. Like, Meliodas is still the greatest and most wicked demon of all time, but now he doesn't have anything really holding him back. And I think one of the biggest changes this results in is that, like, Mael may actually die. Or, like, one of the archangels is probably actually going to end up dead. And I think the main reason this happens is because there's no, like, stoicism. Notably, before, when Meliodas showed up in the demon realm, or not the demon realm, in the celestial realm, as we saw in that chapter, he's kind of, like, bored, indifferent, harsh and cold. But now that he doesn't have a father that's like bullying him into being that way, he's still the same playful, chaotic madman that he was. And thusly, because of that, he's gonna execute Mael. Like, I don't think he's gonna run up and be like, you know what, fine, whatever, you can run away. I think he's literally gonna be like, where are you going? Grab him by the back of the head, tear him apart, limb from limb, all the good stuff, you know that. So Mael probably gonna end up dead. So the thing is that it simultaneously has ramifications, but it also doesn't, because I think a big thing that is going to change is that there will not be a 3,000 year time skip. It's just not going to happen, and I'll explain why. So obviously with Mael dead, there's massive fears. The strongest archangel just died, and with that being the case, the strongest archangel just died. So now Sunshine, or Sun as it was known at the time, is now in flux. We don't know if it's going to return the supreme deity, and or if it's just going to go and find a new host to reincarnate in, like it did when it left Mael the first time when he turned into Estarossa. But also, because of this, now the Bloody Ellie is going to be sent out. And I think, ironically enough, we're going to get the exact same kind of narrative as before, where Meliodas runs into an equal, and instead of like just secretly carrying on a love affair, he's gonna go to his dad because he trusts his dad. He's gonna be like, hey yo, Pops, I met this one goddess. She knocked the taste out of my mouth, but in the best way possible. Can we make this work? And the Demon King, being a good dad in this timeline, is gonna be like,
you know we don't like the goddess clan, right? Like, you literally just slayed their strongest soldier.
yeah, but this one's different, Dad. Like, you don't even Pops, you gotta understand. Like, you know that feeling when you met Mom, who I guess exists in the story. We don't know who Meliodas' mom is. Nakaba says, he does say that they do in fact have a mother. We just never meet her. But he's like, you remember when you met Mom and you had that spark, that connection? Like, Dad, I have that with this girl right here. Please, come on now. Dad, it's just one. It's one goddess. And the Demon King, with his hands pressed up against the bridges of his nose, is going to be like,
it's just one goddess. It's just one goddess. All right. Who is she?
That's a good question. What was her name? Oh, remember that girl known as the Bloody Ellie?
Meliodas, she slaughtered like thousands, if not millions, of our people.
Yeah, I know, but we can change her. If you need me to, I can go get stronger. I can train some more, and then maybe we can make this work. And I know it sounds so weird talking about Meliodas like this, mainly because like his characterization is so different in the modern day. Like, in the modern day, even 3,000 years past post portraying the Demon Clan Meliodas, is such a different character than the Meliodas we see in the Escanor fight, which is why I think that period is so interesting, and I think it's a federal crime that we did not get to see it. But, you know, Nakaba is Nakaba be cooking, so maybe we will. We never will. We simply never will. But regardless of that, we do see this scenario where the Demon King, where previously he would have been like, this is treason, son. I'm going to have to execute you for this. In reality, he's going to be like,
Fine. If you find a way to convince her to come here and live here without slaughtering any more of our people, you're good. I will overlook it. I will make it illegal for anyone to say anything to you. And if they do, you can take care of it yourself. How does that sound?
all right, Dad. Love you. All right, let me go train. And then Meliodas is going to go train. And as this is happening, as this sort of situation is going down, we do get to see that Zeldris, he's kind of hitting it off with a certain vampire girl. And of course, the vampire's rebellion still happens. But this time, Zeldris, once again, with renewed trust and faith in his dad, due to the Demon King actually being a good father now, he's going to be like, okay, Dad, I need you to hear me out. And the Demon King, after just dealing with Meliodas, who's currently like raising chaos in the background because he's trying to get stronger and stronger so he can actually convince the Bloody Ellie to come to the demon world and not actually like slaughter everybody there. He's like, Dad, I know Mel just asked for something outlandish, but I have something a little less outlandish.
Yes, Zeldris, what do you want?
There's this one vampire girl I like, and I know you want me to execute them for the rebellion, but like they didn't even really do that much damage. They're weak. So is it okay if I get in where I can fit in, Dad?
I swear, if they're weak, why do you even want that?
There's this really cute one, Dad.
Who is it?
Gelda.
Gelda. The what? The vampire's princess? The eldest daughter?
Yeah.
You know what? To keep my blood pressure in the triple digits, fine.
Really, Dad?
Yes, fine. I highly doubt Israf will attack us again if his own daughter is now part of the royal family. Go ahead, do whatever courtship you want with her. Just let me know when the wedding is so I can go plan it with your mother.
Thanks, Dad. Love you. Run off. And then boom. Ironically enough, we have both sons now fully happy and satiated with the people they want, with no repercussions from the Demon King. But as we mentioned earlier, Mael's dead from Meliodas having a little bit too much fun, having a little bit too much fun, going a little bit too crazy, too stupid. And thusly, the goddesses need a new son. And with the supreme deity being unsealed now, it is highly likely that she's gonna recoup the son and put it into someone else. Notably, I still don't think she would put it in Elizabeth. My whole this is just a headcanon of mine. Don't get me wrong. This is purely headcanon. But I don't think that Elizabeth would ever get a grace, mainly because she was already strong enough. The reason the four archangels were who they were and Elizabeth didn't get ocean or tornado is because the supreme deity was like, hey, there are 10 commandments and I have 4 archangels. But Elizabeth is already as strong as the archangels, if not stronger than them. So I essentially have 5 archangels. So if it ever really came blow to blow, we could win. And I think that works. So I'm gonna go under that assumption. And, just to keep a nice fun twist on it and try to keep it somewhat within lore, I'm gonna make the person who wanted to be the lover of Mael the new son, and that's gonna be Jelimet. Jelimet's gonna become the new son. She was a close friend of Elizabeth. All that. I think it actually works out a kind of decent bit. And with that being the case, we now have a new 4 archangels, but obviously Jelimet is nowhere near as experienced with Sun as Mael was, and thusly the other 3 are sort of training her up. Meanwhile, Elizabeth is also, foaming, scratching, and itching for the fact that she ran into someone that she thinks is cute, she thinks is strong, she thinks could actually be really cool to be around and be with. But unlike the Demon King, the supreme deity is still the exact same character and would definitely not go for any cohabitation between demons and goddesses. So she is definitely not for that. However, with this being the case, Elizabeth, she's a bit susceptible. And of course, Meliodas and Elizabeth, they keep running into each other. Kind of it's implied in the original timeline that they did this too. Like, for some reason, they just kept running into each other on the battlefield. That eventually grew into love. So this happens, kind of like canon. However, after like their 10th battle, they've like leveled multiple continents or whatever, leveled multiple countries, multiple villages are screaming and burning in terror, and they're both just laid out on the ground. And Mel is like, wow, you really are strong. That's amazing. Thank you, I guess. You're strong too. Hey, do you wanna come live in the demon world? What? Yeah, my dad said it was cool. Like, you can just come live with us and, leave the goddess clan. You guys are gonna lose the war anyway. Like, we're planning like a whole full frontal assault against you. I can't let you go after telling you that. Could you please just come along, please? Elizabeth is like, and you're sure your dad will not instantly execute me for coming into your realm like my mom tried to do you? Yeah, 100%. Dad never lied to me before. I highly doubt he's gonna lie now. And besides, he's letting Gelda, that weird vampire princess, marry my little brother. So I think it's gonna be good. Okay. I can I bring a friend? I can ask my dad. I think you need to come first, though. Okay, let's go. And yes, I know. Like, this is the thing. Hypothetically, it would not be this smooth. I know it would not at all be this smooth. However, I think it actually would be, because you got to realize the parents were the main blocking point here. Meliodas and Elizabeth had multiple romantic meetups individually. That's how Mael got jealous in the first place. Of course, Mael's dead, so he can't get jealous anyway. But now they don't need to hide it anymore, at least in one side of their family. The Demon King is now fully allowing their romance because, he's trying to be a good dad and he loves his kids. And with that being the case, he's going to let them do what they want for the most part. They're going to be good. They're going to love him. And now all the Demon King is doing, essentially, because remember, the whole reason the Demon King is now a good father is not because of a change of heart. It's not like the Phantom Thieves showed up and stole him and just kept him moving. No, in reality, the Demon King's letting them do all this because he doesn't want a rebellion. These are his kids. And of course, the moment Meliodas was born, he sensed his true magic. He was like, wait a minute, that kid's a destroyer. I need this kid on my side at all times. And in the original timeline, the Demon King decided to go about this by literally gaslighting, bullying, and abusing his kids into being obedient little soldiers. But this time, he tries to take the love approach, where he's like, they won't attack me and use their extremely dangerous abilities on me if they love me. I'm going to make sure that they love me. And as long as he keeps doing what they want, yeah, sure. And the thing is, the kids, due to the respect that they have for their dad in this timeline, which is still kind of similar to the original, but on top of their love, they're willing to do what he wants as long as they get little things here and there. And, well, admittedly, the daughter of the supreme deity is far from a little thing, and also the daughter of a rebellious vampiric king is also not really a little thing. In reality, all the Demon King's doing is letting his sons do easy things for him. By getting the daughter of the Vampire King into the royal family, the Vampire King now has no reason to rebel, because he's essentially be rebelling against himself and his own daughter, which the Vampire King wouldn't realistically do. And also, he's taking away one of the most powerful pieces of the supreme deity's army. By taking away the Bloody Ellie and bringing it over to his side, the Goddess clan just got way weaker, especially after Meliodas just slaughtered their strongest warrior. So the Demon King is really killing two birds with one stone, or really like five. Like, seriously, he's doing a whole ton of damage, but just being a good dude. Or not a good dude, because that's a different video for another time. But being a good father by just letting his kids be taken care of and do what they want. And of course, Elizabeth comes before the Demon King, and we see him be like,
Okay. Greetings, Miss Bloody Ellie, or is there any other thing you would like me to call you, future daughter-in-law?
No, it's okay. I mean, Elizabeth, can you call me that, my lord?
That's fine, and you don't have to call me Lord. You can just Call me Dad. That's what they call me. Whatever. You're gonna be my daughter anyway. Besides, I couldn't care about what your mother thinks. Alright. I only have, like, one ground rule. If you're gonna live here, you gotta help me out from time to time if I need some certain things done. Like, defend the realm. Don't slaughter any of the people. You're a goddess. You're good at healing, right?
Yes, I can heal.
Diseases, sicknesses, all that?
Yes, I can do that.
Oh, well, that works out. If that's the case, just do healing if people ask you to, for the most part, unless it's too taxing on you or you and Meliodas are busy, and, don't slaughter any of my people. I think Mel and Zell can take care of, the defense of the realm for the most part, but I'd greatly appreciate your help if we can get it.
Oh, yes, of course. If for living here, yeah, that would be wonderful.
Do you have anything else that you want, other than, like, a name, Elizabeth?
Oh, yeah, can I bring a friend?
Oh, a friend? Will they be okay with living here like you are? Which I'm no offense to you, I'm still just a little bit shocked about. I'm shocked that the guys want to come and live in our realm.
Oh, well, I really love your son, and you've raised him to be a really good young man.
Oh, you flatter me. Thank you. Well, if you're gonna come and live here and you plan to abide by these rules, yeah, sure, you can bring a friend. Who are they?
Oh, they're Jellimet, the new son.
The new son. Oh, Meliodas was the old son, the guy you...
Yeah, Dad. He was boring. I don't know. He wasn't even that strong. I let him do the thing where he like got to midday and he like exploded in power, but it didn't really do much. Like I didn't even need to use my full strength, so he's light. Nothing like Elizabeth. Elizabeth, on the other hand.
All right, kid. I get it. Well, if that's the case, sure, you can bring her as long as she's fine with living here too. She should be able to survive here just fine, especially if she has one of the graces. Go ahead.
And then, yeah, the Demon King's cool with it. He's fine with it. Because, once again, this is making his sons happy and much less likely to rebel against them and try to slaughter him. And with this being the case, Elizabeth and Meliodas go and essentially kidnap Jellimet, because she would not be down for it, especially considering Meliodas and, like, the whole circumstances. She would not be down for it. But Elizabeth would be like, hey, Jell, I can tell you something right now. If you don't come with me right this instant, I don't think I'll ever see you again. And if I do see you again, it'll very likely be me fighting you. And I think that's a fight that you and I both know you can't win. Elizabeth, you never spoken like this before. Why, you're threatening me? Yes, because I found the love of my life, Jell. And I know he took away yours. But you never know. Maybe you could find a handsome demon man. A handsome demon man? Elizabeth, these are our mortal enemies. Yes, I know, Joe. But I can sense Ludishel rushing over here. And we are right next to the realm gate. So you can either come with me, or we meet again on the battlefield. Fine! And then, bada bing, bada boom, Jellimet's now a resident of the demon realm. Obviously, with a character like Meliodas and Elizabeth both roaming around, they'd be able to handle Joe. Even if she was suddenly as strong as Mael, it would be fine. Like, they wouldn't care. And now Jellimet becomes a resident member of the demon realm. And now, obviously, cutting back to the Supreme Deity's POV, she's freaking out. Because she can't just command the grace to leave her. Because unlike the Esterosa situation, it's not like Jellimet is like slaughtering any goddesses or anything like that. And it's not like there's any sort of conflict like a new power. It's not like Jellimet's becoming a commandment or anything. So now she just lost the most powerful grace to her brother. And she lost another archangel that she specifically just made up for the last archangel she lost. And she only has 3 archangels left. And now the demon realm's looking more and more powerful than ever. And now the Demon King's sitting back and thinking,
you know, the only reason I even have this truce is to keep the chaos sealed away, so we don't have a holy war. But in reality, if I can just win, then I can just rule over all of creation with the kids. You know what? I think I'll do that.
And now, I know my whole, it's still one of my most controversial videos to this day, my Demon Clan versus Goddess Clan thing. But now, I think with them lacking Mael and their real defenses only being a couple Divine Lance Corporals and 3 Archangels. Meanwhile, we have a fully trained prime assault mode Meliodas, the bloody Ellie, the new Sun, the executioner of the demon realm, who's also equipped with the Demon King's power, the original demon ready and on standby, and all the rest of the 10 commandments. Yeah, when the Demon King decides to go to war, yeah, they win. That I don't even think it would take that long. Like, legitimately, you could just send Zeldris and Gel after the 2 lesser archangels, have Elizabeth and Mel jump Ludishel, annihilate him, then jump the other 2 lesser archangels, done. Take over the whole celestial realm, and then the Demon King can literally go up to his sister and be like,
Hey, I'm in love with you real quick. I would rather not end you. But I'm lying, and I'm going to kill you right here and right now.
and then he kills her. Hello, editing pencil here. And I know people would be wondering how the Demon King could slay the Supreme Deity if they're both supposed to have half their power right now because they split it up. And to that, I say the Demon King decided to absorb the commandments back just temporarily. Like, he went to his commandments and said, hey, I need these abilities back real quick. I need the power back. Thank you. Good night. And then got his power back, slayed the Supreme Deity, and then went back to having the commandments be the commandments. There you go. Like, I don't think that, just based on the fact that the Chaos Seal was still intact on Hawk Mama, even after the Demon King's death, like, Merlin specifically had to go out of her way to unlock it. Due to that, I don't think there'd be any problems with the death of the Supreme Deity. And beside, her graces still exist. So the power, if we're going to say the power is the requirement for the seal to remain maintained, and we need that power, the Demon King would just specifically request his kids to not, like, destroy the graces. Just keep them. And then he would hold them himself. Maybe even absorb them. I highly doubt his sister would be able to overwhelm his consciousness. If not absorb them, just keep them in glass cases. And then bada bing, bada boom. The Demon King is the new king in creation. Sure, he's not going to get a younger body anytime soon, but worst comes to worst, I don't know why he didn't just make one. Like, dude, if you can make a planet with, like, a star, you can make yourself a younger body and just hop into that if you really need to. And now, the Demon King kind of just lives happily ever after. He doesn't have to worry about his sons ever rebelling because they're happy. They're popping out Nephilims and whatever you would call a demon-vampire hybrid, popping out Vemons left and right. Vampire demons popping out Vemons left and right. He now has grandkids. They're all nice and happy. They're all living together and just having a good time. Gluxinia and Droll are 2 characters I kind of just ignored in this what if, mainly because they seem mostly neutral. Like, they only ever went to war against the Demon Clan because literally the Goddess Clan was like, hey, we need to jump them. And they precedingly got jumped. But in the original timeline, they're friends with Elizabeth. So once they found out, like, Elizabeth went to the Demon Clan and got with Meliodas, another friend of theirs, they'd be like, oh, well, yeah, sure, ain't no problem here. And they wouldn't fight the Demon King. So now the Demon Clan is the most prosperous and best clan ever. Of course, they're like drastic ramifications for this on the future scale. Like, I don't think King will never be born because Gloxinia will never die. Like, if Gerharde can live across a 3,000 year time skip, after being, like, literally nearly put to death, like, yeah, shit, Gloxinia will be fine. He'll be the Fairy King forever. Giants, we don't necessarily have a set lifespan on them, but it's not like Droll was ever really replaced. The Giants never necessarily had a new king. Though, ironically enough, I think Diane and Matrona would still be born, just under different circumstances. Like, demons would be everywhere. That's the only difference I could see. Demons, Nephilims, and Vemons running everywhere. And with that being the case, Escanor and Bond, they may still be born, but I highly doubt it. I don't know. I feel like the effects of the Holy War have too drastic of an impact. Ro never dies. He may never. He probably wouldn't even thing. So Oslo doesn't exist either. And Mael's obviously dead. The 4 Archangels are dead. Like, all the original 4 Archangels dead. Like, I'm sorry. There's no way I could see them in this specific scenario coming out on top or surviving, because I don't see them getting convinced to come to the demon side that easily. Yeah, that's mainly it. Like, I don't see, especially not Ludishel. He needed way more character development. And I think just in the blitz rush that would be the invasion of the Celestial Realm, they would just get jumped and killed. So I don't see them coming out alive in this. So if you don't like them, rough stuff, essentially. They probably would be reincarnated, though, if they die with their graces. Then, yeah, they would actually reincarnate after some time. But, in fact, Mael should reincarnate. So, realistically, there's no reason for Jelmet to become the next son. Though, if he does reincarnate, Jelmet may just wake up one day and Mael will be standing there. So, she gets a happy ending, too. Bada bing, boom, boom. She doesn't have to find herself a nice demon, man. Mael reincarnates through her. That's all nice and good. Tristan is born 3,000 years early, I suppose, if Meliodas still wants to name him Tristan. And I think that's Gother, the puppet, is probably no. Gother wouldn't even be made. The puppet Gother would not be made because I'm assuming based on the timeline of where I start this, Mael doesn't ever have time to invade the demon realm and slay Gloriza. So Puppet Gother never needs to get made in the image of Gother's dead lover because he doesn't have a dead lover at this point. They just have a regular kid, so they get a happy ending. There's no Gother, no Puppet Gother at least, but hey, that means no suffering for him. And yeah, I think Lance just doesn't get born. I don't think that happens in this timeline at all. Like too specific of a circumstance needs to happen for Lance to be created. So we lose Lance, and if that's too much of a cause for you, then the Demon King needs to be a terrible person still. But I'm overall thinking, because the thing is, even if we were to assume every beautiful, perfect condition was met for Bond to still exist, Elaine wouldn't exist because Gloxinia and Gerhardia would have never died. Or Gloxinia would have never died, and I highly like maybe the fairy tree would produce another fairy princess, I guess maybe, but even then I don't think it would be the same Elaine. So I don't think Lance happens. Percival probably doesn't happen. Camelot itself may not happen. The only thing, Chaos could still end up being freed. Like I didn't even touch on Belialowin or Merlin in this diatribe or discussion, and I think she'd just be stuck out of luck because she lucked out in the fact that Meliodas destroyed the Demon King like entirely. Like in the original timeline, Meliodas awakened his true magic and blasted away the Demon King entirely from the one in Purgatory to the Commandments, meaning there was no remaining power left to keep the Chaos Seal up. So even if Merlin went on her 3,000 year plus plan with no help on trying to free Chaos, I just don't think she would be able to meet the conditions. Like legitimately, I don't think, and especially with the way that the demons are probably going to be ruling creation, maybe Excalibur doesn't even get to exist. It may just get destroyed or something like that if it even gets forged or created and stuff like that with the lack of the Holy War. So realistically, I think Merlin's just stuck out of luck, so Chaos never gets freed here. And who knows, the Demon King may just lob Chaos into Purgatory again and just leave it there, because who's going to reach there and survive specifically unless someone gets the elixir and tries to go free Chaos, but they wouldn't even know about that. So yeah, overall, I think this is, ironically enough, the golden timeline. Yeah, like sure, we lose a whole ton of fan favorite characters because they literally never get born. And we don't get a sequel series, I don't think, because I don't think Camelot could ever be a threat, because Chaos could probably never be unsealed at this point, because there's no reason for Mel to rebel and suddenly slay his dad, as long as his dad keeps playing the good father game. And yeah, overall, the Demon King just being a good dad would fix pretty much every single problem that ever befell him. Him being a meanie, dumb, stupid head is what really was his ultimate downfall, after all. And just having kids in general. Like, if he didn't have kids, who knows? Maybe he'd get to live a wonderful life. But overall, that's what I think about this What If. But please, what you guys think in the comments section down below. Do you think I took this too casually? Do you think I should have, like, gone out of my way, thought about it longer, scripted it actually, instead of just going off the top of the dome or all of that? Or do you think this is exactly what would happen? Or do you think there'd be a different path of events? If so, tell me in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do a Patreon down below. You can support for as low as $1 a month. Exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dag of the Pencil, writing off.